I'll never forget the day my mother looked me in the eyes and told me I wasn't worth celebrating. I was standing in our kitchen. The smell of burned toast hung in the air. Mom was scrolling through her phone. Her perfectly manicured nails tapped against the screen. "Emma, we need to talk," she said without looking up. My heart jumped. I thought maybe she'd finally remembered. My 18th birthday was in 3 days. I'd been dropping hints for weeks. "Yeah, Mom?" She set her phone down. Her eyes were cold. Empty. "There's not going to be a birthday party this year." The words hit me like a slap. I felt my chest tighten. "What?" "But you promised." "You said," "I know what I said," she cut me off. "But things have changed. We need the money for something more important. More important than your daughter's 18th birthday." The words echoed in my head. More important? My voice cracked. "Mom, you promised me. Just a small party. My friends. That's all I wanted." She sighed like I was being unreasonable. Like I was asking for the world. "Your sister needs a vacation. She's been so stressed with college applications. She deserves a break." My sister. Victoria. The golden child. The perfect one. A vacation? I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "You're canceling my birthday for a vacation?" "Emma, don't be dramatic. You'll have other birthdays. Victoria needs this now." I stood there. Frozen. My hands were shaking. "I've waited 18 years for this, Mom. 18 years. And Victoria has worked hard for 4 years on her future. This is more important. More important." Those words again. I felt something break inside me. Something that had been cracking for years finally shattered. "Fine," I whispered. Mom smiled. Actually smiled. Like I'd just agreed to something reasonable. "I'm glad you understand, sweetheart. You're so mature." Mature. That's what they always called me when I gave up what I wanted. When I made myself smaller so Victoria could shine brighter. I walked out of the kitchen. My vision was blurry. I didn't cry. I wouldn't give her that. 3 days later, on my 18th birthday, I woke up alone. No balloons. No cards. No cake. Nothing. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling. My phone buzzed with messages from friends. "Happy birthday, Emma. Have the best day. Can't wait for your party." I typed the same response to everyone, "Thanks. Party's cancelled. Family stuff." I got dressed in silence. Jeans. A black hoodie. I looked at myself in the mirror. My dark hair was a mess. My eyes were red from not sleeping. "Happy birthday to me," I whispered to my reflection. Downstairs, the house was loud with excitement. But not for me. Victoria was showing Mom photos on her laptop. Beach resorts. Palm trees. Infinity pools. "This one, Mom. This is the one." Victoria squealed. Mom laughed. It was warm. Genuine. A sound I rarely heard directed at me. Dad sat at the table reading the newspaper. He glanced up when I walked in. "Morning, Emma." Morning. That was it. No happy birthday. No acknowledgement at all. I poured myself coffee. My hands were steady now. Numb. "Emma, look at this." Victoria shoved her laptop in my face. "Isn't it gorgeous? We leave tomorrow." Tomorrow. They were leaving tomorrow. On my birthday weekend. "It's nice," I said flatly. Nice? It's paradise. 7 days of pure luxury. Dad's company is covering most of it. I looked at Dad. He was still pretending to read his newspaper. If the company is covering it, why did you cancel my party? I asked Mom. The room went quiet. Mom set down her coffee cup slowly. Emma, we've been through this. No, seriously. If Dad's company is paying, where's the money problem? Victoria rolled her eyes. God, Emma, you're so selfish. This isn't about money. It's about priorities. Priorities. Right. My 18th birthday isn't a priority? You're being childish, Mom said sharply. Victoria has been under immense pressure. She needs this. You'll understand when you're older. I was older. I was 18. Today. But nobody cared. I'm going out, I said. Where? Dad asked, finally looking up. Does it matter? I grabbed my jacket and walked out before anyone could respond. The cold air hit my face. It was October. The leaves were orange and red. Beautiful and dying at the same time. I walked with no destination. My phone kept buzzing. More birthday messages. Each one felt like a knife. I ended up at the park where I used to play as a kid. The swings were empty. I sat down on one and pushed myself gently. Back and forth. Back and forth. My phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. But something made me. Hello? Is this Emma Victoria Chen? A man's voice. Professional. Crisp. Yes, who's this? My name is Marcus Webb. I'm an attorney with Webb Associates. I've been trying to reach you for several weeks. My stomach dropped. Attorney? What could an attorney want with me? I think you have the wrong person. No, Miss Chen. I have the right person. This concerns your grandmother, Eleanor Chen. Grandma Eleanor. Dad's mom. She'd passed away 6 months ago. I'd been close to her once. But Dad had kept me away from her the last few years. Said she was sick. Confused. Not good for me to see. What about her? She left specific instructions in her will. Instructions concerning you. I need to meet with you as soon as possible. Alone. Alone. That word stood out. Why alone? Those were her explicit wishes. Can you meet me today? I'm in town only until tonight. Today. My birthday. The day no one remembered. Sure. Where? He gave me an address. A cafe downtown. 1 hour. I hung up and stared at my phone. What could Grandma have left me? She wasn't wealthy. At least, I thought she wasn't. I walked to the cafe in a daze. My mind was spinning. The cafe was small. Cozy. It smelled like cinnamon and old books. Marcus Webb was sitting in the corner. Mid-50s. Gray hair. Expensive suit. He stood when he saw me. Miss Chen? That's me. Please, sit. I sat. He pulled out a folder. Thick. Official looking. First, I need to verify your identity. I showed him my driver's license. He studied it. Nodded. Happy birthday, by the way. My throat tightened. A stranger remembered. My own family didn't. Thanks, I managed. Your grandmother was very specific about this meeting. She wanted me to wait until you turned 18. Until you were legally an adult. Why? He opened the folder. Pulled out a document. Because what she's left you is significant. And she didn't want your parents to have any legal control over it. My heart was pounding now. What did she leave me? Marcus slid the document across the table. I looked down at it. The words swam in front of my eyes. Trust fund. $15 million. Sole beneficiary, Emma Victoria Chen. I stopped breathing. I'm sorry, what? Your grandmother established a trust fund for you 20 years ago. She'd been adding to it your entire life. Upon your 18th birthday, you gained full access. $15 million. I read the number again. And again. This has to be a mistake. No mistake. Your grandmother was a very successful businesswoman. She sold her company for a substantial sum 30 years ago. She invested wisely. She lived modestly. And she wanted to ensure your future. My hands were shaking. I set the paper down before I dropped it. My father never mentioned this. Marcus's expression darkened slightly. Your father doesn't know. Your grandmother specifically requested that he not be informed. She said he'd complicate things. Complicate things. That was one way to put it. There's more, Marcus continued. She also left you property. A penthouse in Manhattan. A house in the Hamptons. And controlling shares in 3 companies. The room was spinning. I gripped the edge of the table. I don't understand. Why didn't she tell me? She tried. According to my records, she attempted to contact you multiple times over the past 5 years. Her calls and letters went unanswered. Dad. He'd intercepted everything. Kept her away from me. She wanted to tell you in person. But your father prevented visits. When she became ill, she knew time was running out. So she made these arrangements through me. Tears burned my eyes. Grandma had tried. She'd tried to reach me. And I'd thought she'd forgotten about me. That I didn't matter to her either. There's one more thing. Marcus pulled out an envelope. She left you this letter. She recorded a video as well, but she wanted you to read the letter first. My hands trembled as I took the envelope. Grandma's handwriting. Elegant. Familiar. I opened it carefully. My dearest Emma, if you're reading this, I'm gone. And I'm so sorry I couldn't tell you all of this in person. Your father made that impossible, and I hope someday you'll understand why. I've watched you your whole life, even from a distance. I've seen how you've been treated. How you've been overlooked. Made invisible. It broke my heart every single day. You are extraordinary, Emma. You have a strength and kindness that your family has taken advantage of. But no more. This money, these assets, they're yours. Not your father's. Not your sister's. Yours. I want you to build the life you deserve. I want you to never feel small again. I want you to know that you mattered to me. You always mattered. Be brave, my darling girl. Be free. All my love, Grandma Eleanor. I couldn't stop the tears now. They fell onto the letter, smudging the ink. Marcus waited quietly. He pushed a box of tissues toward me. She loved you very much, he said softly. I loved her too, I whispered. I wiped my eyes. Tried to pull myself together. What happens now? Now you sign some papers. I'll help you set up accounts. Get you access to everything. I'll also recommend a financial advisor. Someone trustworthy. Okay. There's also the matter of living arrangements. You're 18 now. Legally an adult. You can choose where you live. Where I live. The house where I was invisible. Or somewhere new. Somewhere mine. The penthouse, I said. I want to see the penthouse. Marcus smiled. I thought you might. I've arranged for a viewing tomorrow if you're interested. Tomorrow. When my family would be on their vacation. When they'd be celebrating Victoria's escape from stress. Perfect. We spent the next 2 hours going through paperwork. Signing documents. Setting up accounts. It felt surreal. Like I was watching someone else's life. When we finished, Marcus handed me a credit card. Black. Heavy. My name engraved on it. This is linked to your primary account. There's no limit. But I'd recommend being responsible. I know. He smiled. Your grandmother said you were smart. She was right. I left the cafe in a daze. The city looked different now. Brighter. Fuller of possibilities. My phone buzzed. A message from Mom. Where are you? Dinner in an hour. Victoria wants to celebrate before we leave. Celebrate. Victoria. Of course. I typed back, I'll be there. I walked home slowly. The sun was setting. Orange and pink streaked across the sky. When I got home, the dining room was decorated. Balloons. Streamers. A cake on the table. For a brief, stupid moment, I thought maybe they'd remembered. Then I saw the cake. White frosting. Pink flowers. And in perfect cursive, good luck Victoria. Not my birthday. Victoria's send-off. I stood in the doorway. Invisible as always. Mom saw me first. Oh good, you're back. Come help set the table. I moved like a robot. Plates. Forks. Napkins. Victoria bounced into the room wearing a new sundress. How do I look? I got it for the trip. Beautiful, Mom gushed. You're going to have the best time. Dad came in carrying wine. He poured glasses for himself and Mom. Sparkling cider for Victoria. Nothing for me. We sat down to dinner. Chicken. Roasted vegetables. Victoria's favorites. They talked about the trip. The resort. The excursions. The spa treatments. I pushed food around my plate. Emma, you're being quiet, Dad said. Just tired. Well, don't be moody. This is a happy occasion. Happy. Right. Victoria was in the middle of describing a snorkeling tour when my phone rang. I looked at the screen. Unknown number again. But something told me to answer. Excuse me, I said, standing up. Emma, we're eating, Mom protested. It's important. I stepped into the hallway. Answered. Hello? Miss Chen, it's Sarah Lin, your new executive assistant. I'm calling to confirm tomorrow's schedule. Executive assistant? What? I'm sorry, I think Mr. Webb said you might need help adjusting. I'm here to assist with your transition. Your car will pick you up at 9 a.m. for the penthouse viewing. Then we have meetings with your financial advisor and the board members of Chen Technologies. Chen Technologies. One of Grandma's companies. My companies now. Oh. Right. Yes. 9 a.m. Perfect. Also, your private jet is being prepped for whenever you need it. Do you have any travel plans I should know about? Private jet. I glanced back at the dining room. At my family celebrating Victoria. At the cake that wasn't for me. An idea formed. Dangerous. Petty. Perfect. Actually, yes. I need to make a trip. Soon. Of course. Where to? I'll let you know. But keep the jet ready. Understood. Have a good evening, boss. Boss. She called me boss. I hung up and stared at my phone. My hands were steady now. My mind was clear. I walked back into the dining room. Everything okay? Dad asked. Everything's perfect. I sat down. Picked up my fork. And that's when my phone rang again. Loud. Echoing in the quiet room. I looked at the screen. Sarah's number. Why was she calling back? Sorry, I need to take this. Emma. Mom's voice was sharp. I answered anyway. Put it on speaker without thinking. Yes? Boss, I'm so sorry to interrupt your evening, but there's an urgent matter. Your private jet is ready for departure. The pilot needs to confirm your timeline. The room went silent. Everyone was staring at me. Dad's fork clattered onto his plate. If you're enjoying this story so far, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'd really love to hear your thoughts in the comments about what you think is going to happen next. Boss? Victoria's voice was sharp. Confused. I looked at her. At Mom. At Dad. I'll call you back, I said to Sarah. Hung up. The silence was deafening. What was that? Dad demanded. What was what? Why did she call you boss? Why are you talking about a private jet? I set my phone down carefully. Looked at each of them. That was my assistant. Confirming my travel plans. Mom laughed. It was harsh. Disbelieving. Your assistant? Emma, what are you talking about? I have an assistant. Sarah. She's very efficient. Victoria crossed her arms. This isn't funny. What kind of game are you playing? No game. Just answering my phone. Dad stood up. His face was red. Emma, I don't know what this is, but my phone rang again. I picked it up. Put it on speaker again. Looked directly at Dad. Yes, Sarah? I apologize, boss, but the pilot is insistent. If we're flying tonight, he needs to file the flight plan within the hour. Tell him to file for a midnight departure. Destination undecided. Understood. Also, the penthouse is ready for your arrival tomorrow. I've stocked the kitchen per your preferences and arranged for a welcome package. Thank you, Sarah. That's all for now. I hung up. The room felt like it might explode. Penthouse? Mom's voice was barely a whisper. In Manhattan. I'm moving tomorrow. Moving? Victoria shrieked. You don't have money to move anywhere. I smiled. It felt strange on my face. Like I'd forgotten how. Actually, I do. Dad's hands were shaking. Emma, explain. Right now. Grandma Eleanor left me some things in her will. Mr. Webb, her attorney, contacted me today. My 18th birthday seemed like the appropriate time to inform me. Mom's face went pale. Eleanor left you something? A few things. Money. Property. Some businesses. How much money? Dad's voice was dangerous now. I picked up my glass of water. Took a slow sip. Enough. Emma. He slammed his hand on the table. How much? $15 million. Victoria gasped. Mom's wine glass slipped from her hand. It shattered on the floor. Red wine spread across the white tiles like blood. That's impossible, Dad said. Mom didn't have that kind of money. Apparently, she did. And she left it all to me. All of it? Mom's voice was shrill. What about your father? What about Victoria? She left it to me. Only me. The words hung in the air. Heavy. Final. Victoria started crying. Angry tears. That's not fair. Why would she do that? Maybe because you have everything else. Everything else? Victoria's voice pitched higher. What's that supposed to mean? It means every birthday party, every graduation, every celebration in this house has been about you. It means I've spent my whole life being invisible while you've been the star. It means today is my 18th birthday and no one even remembered. Silence. Mom's mouth opened. Closed. Your birthday, she whispered. Yes. My birthday. The one you cancelled for Victoria's vacation. Emma, we didn't cancel, Mom started. You did. You looked me in the eyes 3 days ago and told me Victoria's vacation was more important than my 18th birthday. You said I'd have other birthdays. That I was being dramatic. Tears were running down Mom's face now. But I felt nothing. Empty. We were going to celebrate when we got back, she said weakly. No, you weren't. You forgot. All of you forgot. Dad was staring at me like he'd never seen me before. Emma, this isn't about your birthday. This is about that money. My mother had no right, she had every right. It was her money. And she left it to me. You're 18 years old. You don't know how to handle that kind of money. Mr. Webb is helping me. I have financial advisors. I'll be fine. You're not fine. You're being manipulated. My mother always tried to turn you against us. That made me laugh. Actually laugh. Grandma didn't turn me against you. You did that yourselves. She just gave me a way out. A way out? Mom's voice broke. Emma, we're your family. Family remembers birthdays. Family doesn't cancel celebrations because someone else is more important. Family sees you. We see you. Victoria shouted. No. You don't. You never have. I stood up. My legs were steady. My heart was calm. I'm leaving tomorrow. I'll have movers come for my things later this week. You're not going anywhere, Dad said. His voice was hard. Commanding. The voice that usually made me back down. Not today. I'm 18. Legally an adult. You can't stop me. Emma, please. Mom reached for my hand. I stepped back. Don't. You made your choice. You've been making it my whole life. I walked toward the stairs. Emma. Dad shouted. If you leave this house, don't expect to come back. I stopped. Turned around. Looked at him. I won't. I went to my room. Locked the door. Sat on my bed in the dark. My phone was buzzing with messages from Mom. From Dad. From Victoria. I turned it off. The silence was beautiful. I stayed in my room all night. Didn't sleep. Just sat there thinking about everything. About every birthday where Victoria got a party and I got a card. About every Christmas where Victoria got the expensive gifts and I got practical ones. About every achievement Victoria had that got celebrated with dinner at a fancy restaurant while my accomplishments got a "that's nice, honey." About every time I'd made myself smaller, quieter, less demanding, hoping it would make them love me more. It never did. At sunrise, I packed a bag. Just essentials. Everything else could wait. The house was quiet. They'd left for their vacation at dawn. Early flight. Good. I walked through the empty rooms one last time. The kitchen where Mom told me I wasn't worth celebrating. The dining room where they forgot my birthday. The living room where I'd spent so many nights alone while they fussed over Victoria. I felt nothing. Outside, a black car was waiting. The driver got out when he saw me. Miss Chen? That's me. He opened the door. I slid into the leather seat. As we pulled away, I looked back at the house. The house that never felt like home. I didn't feel sad. I felt free. The drive to Manhattan took 2 hours. I watched the scenery change from suburbs to city. Sarah called halfway there. "Boss, we're all set for the penthouse viewing. Mr. Webb will meet you there." Perfect. Also, I took the liberty of scheduling a shopping appointment this afternoon. You'll need some new things for the penthouse. New things. A new life. That sounds good. The car pulled up to a building that touched the sky. Glass and steel. Beautiful. Marcus was waiting in the lobby. He smiled when he saw me. "Ready to see your new home?" "More than ready." We took an elevator to the top floor. It opened directly into the penthouse. I stepped out and froze. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the entire city. Hardwood floors. Modern furniture. Art on the walls. This is mine? Every square inch. I walked through the space in a dream. Master bedroom with a balcony. Guest rooms. An office. A library. A kitchen that looked like it belonged in a magazine. In the master bedroom, there was a photo on the nightstand. Me and Grandma when I was 5. We were laughing at something. Happy. I picked it up. Held it close. "She left specific instructions about that photo," Marcus said quietly. "She wanted you to have it. To remember that someone always saw you." The tears came again. But they felt different now. Cleaner. "Thank you," I whispered to the photo. To Grandma. To the woman who'd given me everything when my own family gave me nothing. My phone rang. I'd turned it back on in the car. "Mom." I answered. "Emma, where are you?" "Manhattan." "Manhattan? What are you doing there?" "I'm home." "Home? Your home is here." "No, Mom. My home is here now. In my penthouse." Silence. "Then, Emma, we need to talk about this money. Your father says, I don't care what Dad says. The money is mine. Grandma left it to me. But $15 million is a lot of money, sweetheart. You should share it with the family." Share it. Of course. Now they wanted to share. "Like you shared Victoria's vacation fund with me?" "That's different." "How?" "Because," she stopped. Couldn't find the words. "I have to go, Mom. Enjoy your vacation." I hung up. Blocked her number. Then I blocked Dad's. And Victoria's. Sarah arrived an hour later. She was young. Mid-20s. Professional. Kind eyes. "Miss Chen, it's wonderful to finally meet you in person. Please, call me Emma." "Emma." She smiled. "Let's get you settled." Over the next few days, Sarah helped me with everything. Shopping for clothes. Meeting with financial advisors. Learning about the companies I now controlled. Chen Technologies. A tech company specializing in AI development. Value, $300 million. Lotus Investments. A venture capital firm. Assets under management, $1 billion. Eleanor Holdings. A real estate development company. Property value, $800 million. I was rich. Not just rich. Wealthy beyond imagination. And I had power. The board members of Chen Technologies requested a meeting. To meet the new majority shareholder. I walked into that boardroom wearing a designer suit. Hair pulled back. Makeup perfect. 10 men in their 50s and 60s stared at me. "Gentlemen," I said. "Let's talk about the future. They underestimated me at first. Thought I was a child playing dress-up. Until I started asking questions. Real questions about profit margins and market strategy and technological development. Grandma had left me files. Years of information about each company. I'd spent the last 3 days studying. By the end of the meeting, their expressions had changed. Respect. Surprise. Maybe a little fear. Miss Chen, the CEO said, "You're quite impressive." Thank you. I had a good teacher. My phone buzzed as I left. Unknown number. I was about to ignore it when I saw the location, Turks and Caicos, where my family was vacationing. I answered. Hello? Victoria's voice. Crying. Emma, please. You have to help us. My stomach clenched. What happened? Dad's company credit card was declined. They won't let us pay for the resort. They're going to kick us out. Please, Emma. Please help. The resort. The luxury vacation. The one more important than my birthday. Why was it declined? I don't know. Dad's freaking out. He can't reach anyone at his company. Emma, we have no money. No way to pay. We're stuck here. Stuck. In paradise. What a tragedy. What do you want me to do? Wire us money. You have $15 million. Please. $15 million. The money Grandma left me. The money they thought they deserved a piece of. How much do you need? $50,000. For the resort and flights home. $50,000. For a week at a resort I wasn't invited to. I see. Emma, please. We're your family. Family. That word again. Let me think about it. Think about it? Emma, we need help now. I'll call you back. I hung up. Sarah looked at me. Everything okay? My family is having financial trouble on their vacation. The vacation they took instead of celebrating your birthday? I'd told Sarah everything. She was more than an assistant. She was becoming a friend. That's the one. Are you going to help them? Was I? I thought about Mom's face when she told me Victoria's vacation was more important. I thought about Dad's fork dropping when he heard about the money. I thought about Victoria crying that it wasn't fair Grandma left everything to me. I thought about 18 years of being invisible. No, I said. I'm not. Good, Sarah said. They don't deserve your help. But it didn't feel good. It felt hollow. Empty. That night, I stood on my balcony looking out at the city. The lights sparkled like stars. My phone rang. Dad this time. He'd gotten around my block somehow. Emma, what the hell is going on? My corporate card doesn't work. My accounts are frozen. The company won't return my calls. Maybe you should ask your employer. I'm trying. No one will talk to me. Emma, did you do something? Me? What could I possibly do? Don't play games. That money you inherited, those companies, what about them? Chen Technologies. That's where I work. You own that company now. The realization hit him. I could hear it in his voice. You control my job. Technically, I control the majority shares. The board handles day-to-day operations. Emma, please. Whatever you're doing, stop it. I haven't done anything. Yet. Yet? His voice rose. Are you threatening me? I'm simply stating facts. I have a board meeting next week. We're discussing restructuring. Some positions might be redundant. You can't fire me. I've worked there for 20 years. And you've been living off Grandma's company for 20 years. Did you know that? The company she built. The company you always said was just a small tech firm. It's worth $300 million, Dad. And you never told me. Silence. You kept her away from me. You intercepted her letters. Her calls. Why? She was trying to turn you against us. No. She was trying to give me a choice. And you took that away from me. Emma, listen, no. You listen. You and Mom and Victoria are stuck in Turks and Caicos with no money. Victoria already called begging for help. And I'm considering it. Really considering it. Thank God, but here's the thing. I want something in return. Anything. What do you need? The truth. Why did you keep Grandma away from me? Why did you let Victoria take everything while I got nothing? Why was I never enough? The silence stretched. Long, painful. It wasn't like that, he finally said. Then what was it like? You were easier. You didn't demand attention. You didn't need parties and celebrations. You were fine being in the background. Fine. Being. In. The. Background. So you put me there because it was convenient. No. That's not, yes. It is. You could focus all your energy on Victoria because I wouldn't complain. I wouldn't make waves. I was the easy daughter. Emma and Grandma saw that. She saw how you treated me. So she tried to reach me. To give me something that was mine. And you stopped her because you were afraid. Afraid I'd realize I deserved better. That's not true. Isn't it? You kept her company shares. You worked for her business. You took her money for years. But you wouldn't let her see her granddaughter. Why? He was crying now. I could hear it. She wanted to give you everything. Take you away from us. I couldn't lose you. You didn't want to lose me? Dad, I was already lost. I was lost every time you forgot my birthday. Every time you chose Victoria over me. Every time you made me feel like I was less. I'm sorry. God, Emma, I'm so sorry. Sorry. The word came too late. I'll wire you $50,000. For the resort and flights. But when you get home, we're done. I'm not your daughter anymore. I'm your boss. And your employer. And you'll treat me with respect or I'll fire you and everyone else who knew what Grandma wanted and helped you keep her away from me. Emma, you can't mean that. Watch me. I hung up. Transferred the $50,000. Blocked his number again. Then I poured myself a drink. Expensive whiskey. Smooth. It burned going down. Sarah found me on the balcony an hour later. You okay? I just blackmailed my father. Good. I laughed. It sounded broken. Is it good? I feel terrible. That's because you're a good person. Good people feel terrible when they hurt others. Even when those others deserve it. He was crying. And how many times did you cry because of him? Too many times. Too many nights alone in my room wondering what was wrong with me. It doesn't make it right. No, Sarah agreed. But it makes it fair. Fair. Was any of this fair? The next week was a blur. I attended meetings. Signed documents. Made decisions about companies I barely understood. But I learned. Fast. The board members were surprised by how quickly I grasped concepts. How seriously I took my role. One of them, an older man named Richard, pulled me aside after a meeting. Eleanor would be proud of you. You knew her? Very well. She talked about you constantly. Showed us photos. She was planning to bring you into the business when you turned 18. My chest tightened. She was? She had big plans for you, Emma. She saw something in you that others missed. Something others missed. Because they never looked. I wish I'd gotten more time with her. She left you something besides money. He handed me a USB drive. She recorded these about a year before she passed. She wanted you to have them when you were ready. I stared at the small device. Grandma's voice. Her words. Thank you. That night, I plugged the USB into my laptop. Sat on my couch in my empty penthouse. The screen flickered. Then Grandma's face appeared. She looked older than I remembered. Thinner. But her eyes were bright. Sharp. Hello, Emma, my darling girl. Her voice. I'd forgotten how warm it was. How it wrapped around me like a blanket. If you're watching this, I'm gone. And I'm sorry I couldn't say these things to your face. Your father made that impossible, but I don't blame him. He was always afraid of losing control. She smiled sadly. I need you to understand something. The way they treated you wasn't your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. You were just easier to overlook. Quieter. Less demanding. And they took advantage of that. Tears streamed down my face. Your sister got the parties and the attention because she demanded them. But you, my sweet Emma, you deserved just as much. More, even. Because you gave without asking. You loved without conditions. That's rare. Precious. She coughed. Took a sip of water. This money I'm leaving you isn't just about security. It's about power. The power to choose your own life. The power to walk away from people who don't value you. Even family. She leaned closer to the camera. Especially family. I built these companies from nothing. I worked 80-hour weeks. I sacrificed everything. And I did it so that my children and grandchildren would have security. Freedom. But your father, he took it for granted. He thought he deserved it just for being my son. Her expression hardened. When I tried to see you, he blocked me. Said I was being manipulative. Said I was trying to poison you against them. But I just wanted to know my granddaughter. I wanted you to know someone saw you. She wiped her eyes. Use this money wisely, Emma. Build something beautiful. Help people. But don't let anyone make you feel guilty for having it. You earned it by surviving a family that should have loved you better. The video ended. I sat in silence. Crying. Grieving the relationship we should have had. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. It's Victoria. New phone. We need to talk. I stared at the message. Debated ignoring it. But something made me respond. About what? 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. About everything. Please. Can we meet? Meet. Face to face with the golden child. When? Tomorrow? There's a cafe near your building. The bean counter. 2 p.m.? I knew the place. Small. Public. Safe. Fine. The next day, I dressed carefully. Power suit. Heels. Makeup perfect. I arrived early. Ordered coffee. Sat in the back corner where I could see the door. Victoria walked in at exactly 2 p.m. She looked different. Smaller somehow. Her usual confidence was gone. She walked like someone who'd been humbled. She saw me. Hesitated. Then approached. Hi. Hi. She sat down. Ordered tea. We sat in awkward silence until it arrived. You look good, she finally said. Thanks. The penthouse, the clothes, the whole boss thing. It suits you. I didn't respond. Just waited. She took a breath. I'm sorry. For what specifically? For everything. For taking the vacation money. For not caring about your birthday. For being selfish my whole life. The words sounded rehearsed. Practiced. Who told you to say that? She flushed. What? Did Mom tell you to apologize? Dad? Is this about getting money from me? No. I mean, they wanted me to talk to you. But this is real. Emma, I've been thinking about everything. About how we treated you. We? Or you? Both. All of us. She wrapped her hands around her teacup. When Dad's card got declined, everything fell apart. He called his company over and over. Nobody would talk to him. Then we found out you own the company. That you're basically his boss now. And Mom started crying. She said she'd ruined everything. That she'd pushed you away. Dad was angry at first. Blamed Grandma. But then he got quiet. Started talking about all the birthdays we forgot. All the times we made you feel invisible. I sipped my coffee. Said nothing. Emma, I never realized how bad it was. I thought you were fine. That you didn't care about parties or attention. I wasn't fine. I cared very much. I know that now. Her voice cracked. When you sent that money to get us home, I thought maybe there was a chance. Maybe you didn't hate us. I don't hate you. She looked up hopefully. But I don't want to be your family anymore either. The hope died in her eyes. What does that mean? It means you're my sister by blood. But that's all. No more family dinners. No more holidays. No more pretending we're close when we never were. Emma, you had 18 years to see me, Victoria. 18 years to care. You didn't. None of you did. And now that I have money, now that I have power, suddenly I matter. But I'm not stupid. I know what this is. It's not like that. Then what is it like? Tell me. When did you realize I was your sister? When the credit card declined? When you found out I owned Dad's company? When? She opened her mouth. Closed it. Exactly. You didn't think about me when you were booking that resort. You didn't think about me when Mom was decorating for your send-off party on my birthday. You thought about yourself. Like always. I was selfish. I admit that. But I want to change. Can't you give me a chance? Why should I? Because I'm your sister. That didn't matter before. She started crying. Real tears this time. Messy. Desperate. Please. I know I don't deserve it. But please don't cut me out of your life. I felt something twist in my chest. Some part of me that still remembered being 7 years old, following my big sister around, wanting to be just like her. But that little girl was gone. I'm not cutting you out. I'm just being honest about what we are. We're not close. We never were. And having money doesn't change that. But it could. We could start over. Build a real relationship. Why now? Why not 5 years ago? 10 years ago? Because I was stupid and selfish and blind. But I see now. I see what we did to you. Good. I'm glad you see it. But seeing it doesn't fix it. Then what do I do? How do I make this right? You can't. The words hung between us. Final. Absolute. Victoria stood up. Her tea untouched. I'm sorry, Emma. For all of it. Even if you never forgive me, I needed you to know that. She walked out. I watched her go. Part of me wanted to call her back. To hug her. To pretend we could fix this. But I didn't. I finished my coffee. Paid. Left. Outside, the city moved around me. People rushing to meetings. To dinners. To lives that didn't include neglectful families and inherited fortunes. My phone rang. Sarah. Hey, boss. The board wants to schedule another meeting. Thursday work? Thursday's fine. Also, there's a charity gala next month. Several board members will be there. It might be good for you to attend. A gala. Me in a ball gown. Networking with millionaires. Send me the details. Will do. You okay? You sound off. Just had coffee with my sister. How'd it go? About as well as expected. Want to talk about it? Not really. But thanks. Anytime. That's what I'm here for. I hung up and started walking. No destination. Just moving. I ended up at a park. The same one I'd been at on my birthday. The swings were empty again. I sat down. Pushed myself gently. Back and forth. My phone buzzed. A news alert. Chen Technologies CEO steps down amid company restructuring. I clicked the article. There was Dad's photo. Official statement about pursuing new opportunities. They'd fired him. No. They'd asked him to resign. At my board meeting last week, I'd suggested restructuring upper management. The CEO had agreed. Said there was dead weight in the company. Dad was the dead weight. My phone rang immediately. Mom. I should have blocked her better. Emma. What did you do? Hello, Mom. Don't hello mom me. They fired your father. They asked him to resign. There's a difference. You told them to fire him. I suggested restructuring. The board made the final decision. This is insane. He's your father. And he's an underperforming executive who's been coasting on grandma's coattails for 20 years. How dare you? How dare I? How dare you? You canceled my 18th birthday for a vacation. You spent 18 years making me feel invisible. You're calling me now because of money and jobs, not because you actually care about me. That's not true. Isn't it? When's my birthday, Mom? Silence. You don't even know, do you? You were there. You gave birth to me. And you don't know when my birthday is. October. October 20th? 23rd. My birthday is October 23rd. The day you told me Victoria's vacation was more important. The day nobody remembered. I heard her crying. I'm sorry. Emma, I'm so sorry. Sorry doesn't fix it. Sorry doesn't give me back 18 years. What do you want from us? Nothing. I don't want anything from you anymore. You're our daughter. And you're my mother. But that's biology. Not love. We do love you. You love the idea of me. The quiet daughter. The easy one. But you never loved the real me. You never even tried to know the real me. That's not fair, fair? You want to talk about fair? Let's talk about every Christmas where Victoria got a car and I got books. Every birthday where she got a party and I got a card. Every achievement where she got celebrated and I got "that's nice, honey." Is that fair? We gave you what we thought you wanted. I wanted to be seen. I wanted to matter. But I didn't demand it, so you didn't give it. And now you're angry because I'm finally taking what should have been mine all along. This money has changed you. No. This money freed me. There's a difference. I hung up. Blocked her number for real this time. Then I called Sarah. Change of plans. I want to fly somewhere. Tonight. Where to? Anywhere. I don't care. Just somewhere far from here. I'll arrange it. Pack for warm weather. 6 hours later, I was on my private jet. Leather seats. Champagne. A flight attendant who called me Miss Chen. Where are we going? I asked the pilot. Bali, Miss Chen. Sarah thought you might enjoy it. Bali. Halfway around the world from my family. Perfect. I slept on the plane. Dreamless. Peaceful. When I woke, we were descending. The island spread out below me. Green. Beautiful. Untouched by family drama and painful memories. A car met me at the airport. Drove me to a villa on the beach. Private. Secluded. Mine for as long as I wanted. I spent a week there. Swimming. Reading. Thinking. Sarah called every day. Handled everything. Meetings. Decisions. Problems. You're good at this, I told her. At what? Taking care of things. Taking care of me. That's my job. It's more than a job. You actually care. Of course I care. You're my boss. And my friend. Friend. When had I last had a real friend? Thank you, Sarah. Anytime, Emma. On the 8th day, I was lying on the beach when my phone rang. Unknown number. Indonesian area code. Curious, I answered. Hello? Miss Chen? My name is Detective Karen Foster. I'm with the New York Police Department's Fraud Division. My stomach dropped. Fraud? Yes, ma'am. We're investigating some irregularities with your father's finances. I was hoping you could answer some questions. What kind of irregularities? It appears your father has been embezzling from Chin Technologies for the past 5 years. Approximately $2 million. The beach spun around me. Embezzling? Yes. He created fake vendor accounts. Approved payments to himself. We found the trail when the new management started auditing. New management. The restructuring I'd approved. I didn't know. We don't think you did. But we need to confirm some details. When you return to New York, could you come to the station? Of course. I'll be back in a few days. Thank you, Miss Chen. I hung up. Stared at the ocean. Dad was a thief. He'd been stealing from Grandma's company. From my company. $2 million. While telling me we couldn't afford my birthday party. I called Sarah. We need to go back. Now. What happened? My father's been embezzling from Chin Technologies. Oh my God. Get the plane ready. I'll be at the airport in an hour. The flight back felt longer. My mind was racing. $2 million. How much of Victoria's college fund was stolen money? How much of their vacation fund? Their cars? Their clothes? Everything they'd given Victoria while giving me nothing might have been stolen. We landed in New York at midnight. Sarah met me at the penthouse. The police want to meet tomorrow at 10 a.m. I've arranged for a lawyer to accompany you. Good. What else do I need to know? The media got wind of it. Chen Technologies former executive arrested for embezzlement. It's all over the news. She pulled up articles on her tablet. Dad's face. Headlines screaming about fraud and corruption. Has he tried to contact me? 37 calls. 62 texts. I blocked them all. Good. But I felt hollow. Empty. He was my father. And he was a criminal. The next morning, I met with Detective Foster. She was professional. Kind even. We don't think you had any knowledge of the embezzlement. I didn't. I just found out about inheriting the company a few weeks ago. Your father was very careful. He hid the trail well. But the new CFO caught it during routine audits. What happens now? We're building a case. He'll likely face charges. If convicted, he's looking at 5 to 10 years. 5 to 10 years. In prison. Does he have a lawyer? A public defender. He can't afford private counsel. Because all his money was stolen. And I wasn't going to pay for his defense. I see. Miss Chen, I know this is difficult. He's your father. Was. He was my father. She nodded. Understood. I left the station feeling numb. The lawyer walked me to my car. This isn't your fault, he said. I know. Do you? I didn't answer. The media found me within hours. Cameras. Microphones. Questions shouted from every direction. Miss Chen. Did you know your father was stealing? Did you have him arrested? Is it true you inherited $15 million? How does it feel to betray your family? Sarah pushed through the crowd. Got me into the car. Go straight to the penthouse. Don't talk to anyone. I nodded. Mute. At home, I poured a drink. Then another. Then another. My phone buzzed. Victoria. She'd gotten through somehow. Please talk to me. Please. I stared at the message. Debated. Then I called her. Emma? Her voice was small. Broken. Yeah. Thank you for calling. I didn't think you would. What do you want, Victoria? To explain. To help you understand. Understand what? That Dad's a thief? We didn't know. I swear we didn't know. Didn't you? All those vacations? The expensive gifts? The college tuition? You never wondered where the money came from? Dad said his job paid well. His job at the company Grandma built. The company he was stealing from. Emma, please. Mom is devastated. She's talking about divorce. The house might go into foreclosure. We have nothing. Nothing. They had nothing. And you want my help. I'm not asking for money. I'm just. I don't know what I'm asking. I'm scared. Everything's falling apart. For the first time, Victoria sounded genuinely terrified. Not manipulative. Not calculating. Just scared. Where are you staying? A motel. The house was part of Dad's bail conditions. We had to leave. Which motel? The Budget Inn on 5th. I knew the place. Dirty. Dangerous. I'll send a car. Pack your things. What? Pack your things. You and Mom. The car will be there in an hour. Emma, what are you doing? I'm being the person Grandma raised me to be. Even if none of you deserve it. I hung up. Called Sarah. I need you to find an apartment. Something safe. Furnished. 2 bedrooms. For who? My mother and sister. Emma, I know. But they're in a dangerous motel. I can't leave them there. You have a bigger heart than they deserve. Maybe. But it's my heart. My choice. An hour later, Sarah called back. Found one. Nice building. Security. 6-month lease prepaid. Perfect. Send the address to Victoria. Already done. That night, I lay in bed staring at the ceiling. Tomorrow, Dad would be arraigned. Charged formally. The scandal would grow. And I would be in the center of it. The girl whose father stole millions while she inherited millions. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. My phone buzzed. A text from Mom's new number. Thank you. I don't deserve your help. But thank you. I stared at it for a long time. Then I typed, "You're right. You don't deserve it." I hit send. Then added, "But Grandma taught me to be better than my worst moments." I'm trying. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. She would be proud of you. Would she? I wasn't sure. I'd been kind. But I hadn't forgiven. I'd helped. But I hadn't forgotten. Maybe that was okay. Maybe being good didn't mean being a doormat. Maybe it meant having boundaries. Helping without sacrificing yourself. The trial started 3 months later. It was national news. The executive who embezzled from his dead mother's company while his daughter inherited millions. Reporters called me. Requested interviews. Wanted the whole story. I declined every single one. The prosecution was strong. Bank records. Emails. Vendor contracts. All fake. All leading back to Dad. He pled guilty. Took a deal. 7 years with possibility of parole in 5. I went to the sentencing. Sat in the back. Watched him stand before the judge. He looked old. Tired. Nothing like the commanding father I'd grown up fearing. The judge asked if he had anything to say. "I'm sorry," he said. His voice cracked. "To the company. To my family. To my daughter Emma, who I failed in every possible way." He turned. Looked directly at me. "Emma, I don't expect forgiveness. I don't deserve it. But I need you to know that my greatest sin wasn't stealing money. It was stealing your childhood. Making you invisible. I was so focused on Victoria, on giving her everything, that I forgot I had another daughter. One who deserved just as much love. More, even. Because you never demanded it. You just quietly hoped for it. And I failed you." Tears ran down his face. "I'm sorry, baby girl. I'm so sorry." The judge sentenced him. 7 years. He was led away in handcuffs. I sat there long after the courtroom emptied. Just sat. Staring at nothing. Sarah found me an hour later. "Hey. You okay?" "I don't know. Want to talk about it?" He apologized. I heard. Part of me wanted to run to him. To hug him. To forgive him. But you didn't. No. Because an apology doesn't erase 18 years. It doesn't give me back the childhood I deserved. It doesn't make the pain go away. No. It doesn't. Is that wrong? Am I supposed to forgive him? Emma, you don't owe him anything. Not even forgiveness. He hurt you. Deeply. Repeatedly. For years. And now he's facing consequences. That doesn't require your absolution. But he's my father. And you're his daughter. The one he neglected. The one he stole from. Being related doesn't obligate you to forgive. I leaned against her. Let myself cry. Really cry. For the father I'd wanted. The one who never existed. For the family I'd hoped for. The one I'd never have. For the little girl who just wanted to be seen. Sarah held me. Said nothing. Just held me while I fell apart. When I finally stopped crying, she handed me tissues. What now? I asked. Now you live. You build the life Grandma wanted for you. You help people. You make a difference. You prove that you're better than all of them. I don't want to be better than them. I just want to be happy. Then be happy. You have the money. The power. The freedom. Use it.